Next on the Mazda 3. This is the most inexpensive and smallest compact SUV Mazda has put out there, and it's back this year with a few upgrades. Welcome back to the Collector Car Network. My name is Luke, and today we're looking at the 2024 Mazda CX-30 Premium Plus package. Now we're gonna look at the drivetrain, we're gonna look at the interior, the exterior, and of course we're gonna take it for a spin, but first a quick word from our sponsor.
Life is too short to drive boring cars!
All right, so what we have here is the CX-30 in this wonderful metallic red colorway. And if you guys have watched some of our other videos, you'll know that red isn't really my favorite color on cars. However, I think Mazda has blown it out of the park with this color. It's not too flashy, it's not too subtle. So let's move on down to the LED headlights. Of course, they are LEDs. They have a wonderful daytime running light, nice and bright, signature Mazda style. Now moving down to the grille, of course, we have it in gloss black with our hidden driving assist sensors, as well as the 360 front camera. And just look at this front end. Does this not scream Mazda? I think it looks great. Now, below all of this, we have our functional air inlets. This being the turbo performance model. As much air as possible is a necessity. Moving down to the wheels, what do we have going on here? Well, we have 18-inch gloss black rims. Now, I'm glad that they decided to go with a gloss black colorway to match the front grille, and with the chrome, with the red, blends perfectly. So, now moving down to the side of the car, of course, again, we have our heated side mirrors. We do have a roof rail on both sides. Very, very nice touch. Now, regarding the door, let me pull up my notes and read you something. There's a sweeping S-curve along the doors that captures the interplay of light and shadow, constantly shifting and reflecting the world around you. Now, I'm no writer, that came straight from Mazda's website, but what they're referring to is the door panel here. As you can tell, it's designed particularly to show the interplay of light, and you can see it very clear right here. All right, so venturing to the rear of the vehicle, on this side we have our CX-30 all-wheel drive badging, and on the other side we have our Skyactiv G turbo badging. Now, check this out. Power operated liftgate. Check out how fast this is. Is this a luxury vehicle? I mean, it might have to be. Wait till you see the interior, but we have 20.2 cubic feet of space. Now, not the most roomy, but you gotta remember, this is a crossover vehicle. Now, with 60/40 seats reclined, we're looking at 40.2 cubic feet of space, just to give you a little more cargo area if you choose to have it. Now, just look again how fast this liftgate is going. Now we do of course have our LED taillights, signature Mazda style again, very unique looking. And looking down at the bottom, we have our 1 and 2 exhaust tips. And guess what? They are very, very sleek looking. Now, let's go take a look at the engine bay and see what's under the hood. All right, so what's going on under the hood? Well, first off, we have a pop rod. Not sure why at this price point it's not hydraulically operated like the liftgate in the back. Anyway, what are we looking at? We're looking at a 2.5 liter inline 4 paired to a Skyactiv Drive 6-speed automatic transmission. So miles per gallon, what are we talking? Well, we're talking 22 in the city, 30 on the highway, for a combined 25 miles per gallon. By the way, this has a 12.7 gallon gas tank, so you can expect to be at the gas station a little more frequently, especially if you're putting the pedal to the metal on this turbo engine. So horsepower, what are we looking at? Well, 250 horsepower with 320 foot-pounds of torque, and that is if you're using premium gas. That's pretty much it for the engine base, so let's hop in the inside and check out what we got. All right, so sitting in this car, can I just say, wow, it looks like a luxury vehicle. We have leather everywhere. Now, it isn't just black. If you look up here, we do have a brown leather with a wonderfully crafted stitching and we do have our AC vents nicely hidden underneath there. And we're greeted by a 10.25-inch infotainment system, being Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatible. Of course, wireless. This is 2024, and this being the premium package, we do have navigation right here if you choose not to use your Apple Maps through, say, Apple CarPlay. So moving down, we do have our tactile knobs here for our climate control, and it's in a fantastic position just right here. We do have our heated seat and heated wheel button. This being the premium package, we're going to get a heated wheel and heated seats. We do have our wireless phone charging dock right below all of that, next to our 2 medium-sized cup holders. All right, so moving down to our shifter, it is pretty straightforward. And to our left, we have our drive mode selector switch, and the drive modes being sport and regular mode, but very easy to access right here. Now, what's unique about this car is it has this selector switch for your infotainment system. So Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, those can be used as a touchscreen. However, if you're using the Mazda screen, you can't touch it. You have to use this selector knob. Now, there is a bit of a learning curve to this. I'm still learning myself, so I can't really tell you if I love it or hate it. I'm still learning, but I think someone who has a controller, who plays video games, I think they'd have a great understanding of how to work this thing. Now, to our right, we do have our volume selector knob, and that's a little weird seeing it here instead of up here normally where your climate stuff is, but I have gotten used to that, and I can say I do like it. And below that, we have this little star button. Well, what could that be? Well, if I click it, we have a screen on our infotainment system that has our favorite radio stations, our favorite destinations from our navigation, all in one just by clicking that little button. Pretty neat. So moving on to the center console, this thing's kind of weird, so take a good look at it. Well, let me try to open it. I can't. So in order to open it, I have to grab the knob, push it back, and then it will open all the way. Very unique. Inside, we're greeted with plenty of space. We have 2 USB-C charging ports, and it's next to our 12-volt port. And to shut that, simply push it down, pull it back forward. So to the seats. All black leather, heated seat, 8-way power operated. Of course, we also have our 2-position memory. Now, moving up, we do have our sunglasses holder, and we have our moonroof. So, not power operated for this little screen here, but pretty standard stuff. We do have our power operated actual moonroof. All right, so looking at the wheel, we do have our cruise control buttons, we do have our skipping songs, we do have our volume, everything nice and neat on this wheel. And you guys know Mazda, this is a beautifully crafted wheel. I mean, just check that out, super clean looking. And looking to our left, we have the fastest one-click power windows. Dude, this thing is fast. Not only is this fast, the liftgate's fast, so let's decide if the car is fast, but before we do that, let's take a look at the rear and see how much space we got. All right, jumping in the rear here. Now, I'm very comfortable in these nice plush leather seats, but there's one thing that's kind of weird. I feel like I'm riding higher than my driver and front passenger, and I'm not sure why that is, but I am nice and comfortable in this leather, and we do have our cutouts in the ceiling just to give a little more space. It is a crossover, so normally, you wouldn't have that much space, but it does feel nice and comfortable. We do not have our charging ports back here, but we do have 2 AC vents, which is important, especially if you're somewhere hot and you have passengers or dogs in the back. Now, we do have our center armrest, and again, that leather is so soft, with our 2 medium to small size cup holders. And if you do have children and you're throwing a car seat back here, don't fret, because the car seat hooks, very easy to access. Nice emblems on them so you know where they are. So pretty cool, pretty standard back here. The brown door trim is a nice touch. And that's pretty much it for everything in the rear. So let's hop in and take this thing for a test drive. All right, so the first thing I want to do before we take this thing out on the road is look at the reverse camera. So throwing this thing in reverse, we are greeted by our 2 screens, one of the rear camera and the other of all the cameras around the car working together to give us that 360-degree view. Now that makes parking this car so seamless. Love the feature. So with that said, let's start our journey. Now, I was really excited to drive this car for the first time because y'all know Mazda, you can really feel in tune with their vehicles, typically through the steering wheel. Now, that really holds true with the CX-30. The steering wheel is nice, sporty, and tight, and the throttle is way light. I was not expecting that. So I kind of feel like I'm driving a sporty sedan, and I'm sure that's also gonna hold true as soon as I kick this thing into sport mode. All right, guys, so we're getting on the on-ramp, 0 to 60. Let's try this thing out. Gas on, all-wheel drive. 60 miles an hour. Dude, that sounds awesome for an inline 4-cylinder. No gimmicks, pure engine noise. That was super smooth. Now, the paddle shifters, let's try these things out. There's a downshift. It will not let me downshift anymore at 64 miles an hour, but it is very quick. There's no delay with the paddle shifters, which is nice to see. I, again, don't feel like I'm driving a crossover or a big car at all. I do feel nice and sporty. Now, gotta get over. All right, I'm gonna try and bob and weave here. This thing is responsive. I was trying to enter the off-ramp with a little bit of traffic, had no problem at all getting over. The road noise is also not very loud. So this car is a lot of fun, especially with that twin turbo, but it is way more expensive than its competitors, especially if you get this trim level. Now, I would recommend you do get this trim level if you're young and want to kind of go fast, want to move away from your kind of slow crossover SUVs to something a little more sporty. Spend the extra money and get this, because this is $2,000 cheaper than a brand new CR-V, and you get that performance side of things. For your safety and driving assistance, we have a whole bunch of different little features which are super cool. Now, you can adjust the following distance for the cruise control. You can adjust the sensing for your driving assist, all from the steering wheel and a few clicks of some buttons. Now, the lane assist is pretty cool in this car. Doesn't take control of your wheel at all like some other cars. If I go outside my lane just a little bit, it will vibrate. I love the vibration sensation way more than a yank of the steering wheel. So Mazda, great job there. The 2024 Mazda CX-30 Premium Plus Turbo Package is a perfect car for young couples, maybe who have a dog, or just young people in general looking for an everyday multi-purpose vehicle. Whether that be driving to the park or tooling around town, the CX-30 has proven to be a lot of fun. Now, for families, I would recommend maybe get the CX-90. It's just a little bit bigger and accommodates better for kids and your passengers. Again, guys, everything is subjective, so we would recommend go to your local Mazda dealership and try it out for yourselves, and let us know down in the comments if you liked it or not. That's gonna be it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Luke, and remember, if you want to collect a car of your own, check out our website at ClassicCars.com, which is our online marketplace with over 30,000 listings live on the site. Also, be sure to check out Auto Hunter, which is our 7-day online auction. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.